Russell Westbrook to China. It may be his only path to continuing to play professional basketball. I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications as well. If you want to help us out, make sure you watch this video all the way through. All right, let's take a look here. Russell Westbrook, could China be his only option? And why did he not just pick up his option with the Denver Nuggets when he had the opportunity to do so? This was Danny Green the other day talking about Russ, and we get the latest news about a big offer coming in from China. Get to that in just a moment. But Danny Green said, I thought he had something guaranteed or something already on the books, like somebody is interested. For you to opt out, from what I heard, is that they weren't planning to play him at all this year. Talking about the Denver Nuggets. Even behind certain guys, he should be above. I feel like Russ is more out of pocket of opting out of his contract and not having one in place already. You still take the guarantee, make them trade you, whatever. You take the guaranteed money unless you know for sure that you have somebody in place. So essentially what Danny Green is saying is he heard the reason why Russell Westbrook didn't just pick up his player option and now currently finds himself with no NBA. He is not in the NBA right now. How crazy is that? Russell Westbrook is not an NBA player. So Danny Green saying the reason why he did not pick up the player option, which was a surprise around the league with the Denver Nuggets, is because Russ found out the Nuggets weren't planning to play him. So he said, forget this. I'm not going to pick up this option. I'm sure Russ probably thought he's a former MVP, somebody would come sign him instead. It has not happened. We've heard a lot of rumors about the Sacramento Kings being interested in Russ, but obviously that has not come to fruition. And now there may be just one path forward for Russell Westbrook, because here we are. It's already preseason. The NBA season is starting. Take a listen to this coming out of Sacramento about their interest in Russell Westbrook and a new opportunity that appears to be available to him in order to go play in China. So give this a quick listen here.
This is kind of Kings related. It's a curveball at you, but Russ Westbrook is still not signed with a team. And I heard something I heard something that from somebody I trust enough to not blow off what they say, that he may have himself an offer in China for about half a season and damn near quadruple what the Kings could offer him. Do you have any insight as to, where that camp is? And
well, okay, so half a season in China for damn near quadruple what the Kings could offer him. So my guess, given that he'd be a veteran minimum salary at the Kings, quadruple, damn near quadruple, my guess is he's got a $10 million deal in China, a $10 million offer to go play in China. Again, that's just my guess, kind of read it between the lines. All right, let's listen to what Sam Amick is on the line here with Carmichael Dave. So let's get some more details here.
Might we have seen the last of Russ Westbrook in the NBA?
No, I mean, that China intel is news to me. That's certainly a path that prominent players have taken before. Stephon Marbury, DeMarcus Cousins, all the way down the line. Do you remember or know, Dave, the timeline of their season? I mean, my first thought is, you talk about collecting multiple checks, like go get paid over there and then call it a day and be available and just go ahead and sign on with a playoff contender on the back end of the NBA season. Does that timeline line up?
I have no idea what their season is, to be honest with you. And I don't know if
I feel like guys have done things like that before.
By the way, I am not an expert in the Chinese Basketball Association's schedule. Just doing a quick Google search. Sam was not sure there, but it does look like it runs October through March. It's always possible, though, that these teams could put an NBA out in his contract, meaning that if an NBA team comes calling in February or whenever, that he would be able to get out of that deal. So that is something that we see sometimes. But it's not like the Chinese season runs, I don't know, July to December, and then December he's a free agent and can jump into an NBA team at the start of the new year or something like that. It does run pretty darn close to the actual NBA schedule, at least based on what I'm seeing here in a quick Google search. Again, not an expert in the Chinese Basketball Association schedule, but if there's an NBA out, there could be a path for Russell Westbrook to get paid in China for a little bit and then go pick up an NBA contract.
But no, I mean, it's the Kings calculus has been the same, which is if they move the guard without getting a guard back, then be on the lookout for a rust that maybe happen. But it's interesting. I know we probably got to go, but I spent some time around the Nuggets recently, and I don't know where I finally landed on like their ultimate reaction to the Russell Westbrook experience. But there were people with the Nuggets that even with the difficulties that he presented personality wise, there were some really smart basketball people that just very plainly stated, like, it's bonkers that he's not employed. He's way too good to not be in the NBA. So, we'll see what happens there.
Russell Westbrook, according to officials in Denver, saying he's way too good to not be in the NBA. And he needs to be on an NBA roster. Yet here he sits, still without a home in the NBA now, potentially a deal coming from China. I've got more on that, a little bit more concrete on Russ maybe actually going to China. I'll get to that in 30 seconds.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using code Bulletin. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
And you guys can check out the free $20 entry on Sleeper right now. Use that link in the description down below. Sleeper does a great job. Wonderful sponsor for the channel. We certainly do appreciate them. Again, that free $20 entry, use our promo code Bulletin in the link in the description down below. Okay, so we do have a little bit more here on Russell Westbrook potentially winding up in China. And now we've got a report from basketnews.com that a Chinese team is indeed planning an offer for the former MVP. Here, I'll show you guys that. This is NBA Central aggregated, but a Chinese team is reportedly preparing to offer Russell Westbrook a massive contract, according to basketnews.com. So is this the best path for Russ? So again, even folks in Denver, according to Sam Amick, are saying this guy should be in the NBA. I ultimately think that if this is the path for Russ to continue playing and he wants to do this, then do it. Then do it. Look, Stephon Marbury did it. Guys have done it. He could battle his way back into the NBA, but Russ has made so much money. I don't know how he handles his finances. I would hope he was smart about it, but he has made hundreds of millions of dollars over the course of his NBA career. I mean, the man was an MVP. He was an easy, here, take the max money, and we are more than happy to give it to you level player, right? That's what Russell Westbrook has been for a good part of his NBA career. And so it's not like Russ, as long as he manages money properly, should need the payday in China. If he's going to go play in China, he should do it because he wants to continue playing basketball, because he loves the game. And maybe he misplayed his hand. Maybe he should have, as Danny Green said, just picked up his player option and then forced the Nuggets to trade him. Hey, you don't want to play me? I'm a former MVP. So find a new home for me then. I'm a former MVP on a $3 million and change contract. Do right by me. I'm a veteran in this league. If you decide you're not going to play me, then trade me. Find a new home. Find a new spot for me to go, because that is the right thing to do. And teams do care about that. Teams do care about that kind of stuff. They care about doing right by veteran players, especially guys who have been in the NBA as long as Russell Westbrook has and has meant what he's meant. That is probably what Russ should have been. I would assume even Russell Westbrook didn't think there was any chance that right now, here we are, October 10th, he would not have an NBA contract for the coming season, which is starting in a week and a half. He must be completely bewildered that this is where we stand. But if he can get, again, my best estimate, $10 million to go play in China. Now, maybe he only earns part of the contract because he uses an NBA out or something like that. But if he can get that kind of money, to go play half a season in China, stay in shape, and then link up with an NBA team mid-season? Do it. Do it. I talked about the other day that Houston cannot sign. Houston has an open roster spot. They cannot sign Russell Westbrook. They could use a point guard. They lost Fred VanVleet. Not to say Russ's skill set is a great fit. His shooting concerning next to Amen Thompson, but can Russ be a creator? Absolutely. But Houston can't sign him until January. That's when the veteran minimum prorates to the degree that it would allow Houston to sign Russell Westbrook. So if no other NBA team is going to sign you, you heard Sam Amick say the Sacramento Kings have interest in him. That's legitimate. They have interest. The problem is they need to move a guard first. I think Sacramento was really hopeful that they were going to trade Malik Monk in a deal for Jonathan Kuminga in a sign and trade, and then would go sign Russell Westbrook. They haven't been able to do that. And they don't want to waive anybody in order to sign Russ. They don't want to pay to get anybody off their roster in order to sign Russ. So Sacramento is a dead option for him right now. Maybe that changes midseason. Maybe another team loses a guard. Maybe there's some other club out there. Maybe Russ goes, and you know what? You've seen the numbers in the CBA, talking about the Chinese Basketball Association. You've seen how inflated those numbers can be. So maybe Russ goes and averages just insane eye-popping stats in China, and some team that we're not anticipating suddenly has interest in him midseason. And then we see Russ land somewhere else. But January, he could sign with the Houston Rockets. He could go stay in shape, play in China, get paid millions of dollars to do it. Until then, we'll see. Again, if Russ loves basketball, wants to continue playing, it appears that China may indeed be his best chance to do it. Who would have thought? The former MVP, and this is where we stand right now. Can't get an NBA contract. Is he talented enough to be an NBA player? Absolutely. He should be talent-wise, merit-wise. He should be on an NBA roster somewhere. The problem is it's so hard to build around Russ. It's so hard to put him on the floor. He's not a plug-and-play guy. He's put him on the team, and you have to put the right pieces around him to fit. He's the opposite of a plug-and-play guy, and I think that's why teams will say, particularly for a bench role, give me somebody I know I can just slot into any lineup rather than the guy that I have to really focus on building a rotation around. And that's where Russell Westbrook currently sits. But everybody give me your thoughts in the comments down below. Should Russ go play in China? And could that lead him right back to the NBA? Give me your thoughts in the comment section. Until next time, everybody, again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. See ya and stay safe.